300만 개사 농볼 양zen 조개 원전 연100만 종의 시선장 권도 강조 망보고 체제 제선다 릅지 생제 랍대 시소선 거런 만마센데 담견 돈제 샤제 손로 신제 면도 된제 본종 세제 럼보 다원 진변 고샤제 장보 제라 창자 로 지다 진이 주사 담진 제미메 도제루라 부당 고와 동조 너번 주진 장진자 왕보 샤라 조원데 그때 롱세 메로 넘버 도제 남외 신대 랑조 제르면 전전 연자종고 루전다의 자라소한데 진고군당 조제 자축의 관점에 고심바 관전제고 접전대 전제 존졸렘베 자라소한데 렉동잠바 존노선라레 공벨론네 보페 도제로 롱도 주도 자도나와 미반잠베 양라소와데 시조이당데 베랑제랑로자와도 제르세 当这往前过在这把所以当当做南来讲在喽，那么观众公前做梦的本节是在多节目有日节那么上来一些，马上看着做来讲在喽。我们就是见保障的，就从中间跟前我要让孙就我们孙中正吧。在月蓝莓下了昨晚的。我在南面南方大巴兰跟这个怎样老大没写信，现在那个东西玫瑰节南面生了，就买就东家话跟这一些个八点左右上千百马去，讲把那些那不说完的这些东个人都啊见见喽，罗去说着我见。切楞多隆外见杰罗朗出巴泽外见杰罗春那一些孙家外见杰대화의 신부샤 아르시 근선년도의 자부 자이소와인데소 진지람도에서 제나의 상외 말제시와 아의 산바른제 루바인제제로正版经典감선正版当天版有宣读扫网 定在本来那些结巴也难把一人明白，这些说了，公刚上了说啊，你觉得国际人了说啊，趁来大见结了，说完的那马当着我没吧，见结罗。ai môi bôi đai ai mô sai gai ai mô dharma ai môi bôi đai ai mô đài maya ai mô sai gaya ai mô bôi đaya ai mô đài maya ai mô sai gaya ai mô bôi đaya ai mô đài maya ai mô sai gaya ai môi bôi đà ai môi dharma ai mô sai gaya chỉ sẽ nằm ca nên cho mà cho anh chỉ sẽ nên cho xin chỉ sẽ đón nên cho trở về đông á sẽ vài số trở về đông á sẽ vài số xie da ye me be ma en jong ran na da be san do ba ri xin na re ye me ma ju nyu me ma de ne na da xin do en je wa xiu de me xie da ye me be ma en jong ran na da be san do ba ri xin na re ye me ma ju nyu me nga de ne na da xin do en je wa ra ju de me xie da ye me be ma en jo ra na da be san do ba ri xin na re ye me ma ju nyu me nga de ne na da xin do je wa ra ju So today I would like to take this short time and opportunity to first pay my body, speech and mind homage to the Buddha Dharma Sangha, and also to Guru Rinpoche, Lama Yedam Dakini and Dharma Protector, and also my Guru, my root Guru, and all dear respected Dharma sisters and Dharma brothers. So today I just wanted to take this opportunity and take a short time, how to say, of your precious time to just share with you some things, some points. I was just thinking maybe it's very nice to how to say share. So I hope everyone forgive me. I know this message is a little bit long, so please forgive me and please bear with me. And so if some of you don't have the time to listen everything at one time, so please do not worry. You take your time, slowly you can listen. So I today wanted to take the time to share something that I very much like, how to say, sometime myself reading when I do my self meditation practice a little bit and self-reflection, then I always like to look at this. Is this a short paragraph of advice? So I will try to interpretation and in English. If I am not mistaken, this is from the songs, the enlightened Dharma songs, or we can call like poetic melodious words of the great enlightened being Milarepa. So it goes: Toptang kosa rewa me, nortang longchu shenpa me, tamtang nyanja deba me, chatang nanjur chipala. Means, the first line means, have no expectation, clinging and grasping and greed to the notion of power, fame and position. Have no attachment and grasping to wealth and to the glorious wonders of the and the magnitude that wealth and money has. Have no ear, not even a single minute to listen and hear an ear for good words, praises and fame. How wonderful this life can live in the present moment, completely untethered. Takpu shingzar nekang che zadang meto tsoarten chadang rida nyamdu tso chadang nanjur jibala. Then it says, living amongst the nature, Mother Nature, the abundance of Mother Nature's fruitful, rejuvenating and antidote and healing property in this naturous environment. Water, medicine, fruits, plants, animals, you are surrounded, you are mingling with them, you are appreciating, respecting and enjoying your time with them, and you are sustaining your livelihood on those nature's gift. How wonderful to live in such a life without anything and being a minimalistic. Semla redo kurpu me thakpar ginkur chimi me ngonzum kanna sungo me chadan nanju chibala se. Say means in my mind I have no doubt, no expectation, no greed, no ego, no jealousy, nothing. I have no responsibility that people have forced me on my shoulders. That people force me on my shoulders not because it is the right thing to do, not because it's the dharma. It is because they want me to fulfill their personal greed and ego and their attachment and their benefit. I have none of that. I have no hooks penetrated in my shoulders. I have no lasso tied around my neck. I am free. I am transparent and I am free. I have no one to show my smiley face. I have no one to care about if that person have a black face, smile face, a black look, side eyes, straight eyes, whatever eyes. I don't need to look at any of that. This doesn't matter to me. How wonderful to be completely transparent and completely free and completely in the present moment. What wonderful time. Tenzin tenyam semrasha tumo tetu lulambar kana thamche delam me chatan nanjul chibala. Now finally, in my mind, the center of my mind, recognizing shunyata, recognizing the great bliss, recognizing emptiness, impermanence, primordial wisdom, recognizing wisdom, bodhicitta, recognizing the Sambhoga Kaya, Nirmana Kaya, and Dharma Kaya, and recognizing that our body, speech, and mind, the view, the practice, and conduct, all root nature is basically, we say three kayas, basically we say bodhicitta, wisdom, and innate nature, emptiness. I am able to sustain my heat, inner heat of the Tummo practice. All what appears and what dissolves, all are wonderful nature. I see things as it is. I do not see it with projection. I do not see it with emotional traps. I do not see it with any sort of hindrance of mundane thinking and untamed emotional mind. Yet I see things as it is, just like that. How wonderful if you can be inner ascetic, inner true ascetic. You see, in this day and age, it's so easy to call ourselves practitioners. It's so easy to call ourselves Buddhist people. It's so easy to call ourselves as yogis and the babas and the nangjurpas and the lamas and the chopas and whatever. And it's very easy to wear a mala in our hand, carry a bell and the damaru, and wear like those dress for the people who do the Vajrayana practice. People who are married. We call them the Ngakpas. Ngakpa means the one who holds the Tantrayana practice. Then the skirt is a red maroon color, and then the scarf you wear is a mixture of the white color and red color. Then keeping long hair, then keeping these earrings, and then have wife and all of that, and then drinking alcohol, smoking, and then eating meat, and then saying, haha, I am Vajrayana, whatever I do is a Tantrayana, Guru Rinpoche like that, haha, I am like that. Well, to be honest with you, real definition of ascetic is whatever I have just shared with you right now, these melodious, wonderful teachings of the Milarepa. This is the meaning. we want to interpret it and follow that meaning. That is a real definition of ascetic. Just outer attire, outer look like I am look like the Vajrayana, I am look like Guru Rinpoche, then is no point. It's like in the West, like in America and Europe, we have this tradition called Halloween. And we have a tradition where sometime when people want to have a friends gathering or friends gathering, a friends dinner party, or let's say like a sweet 16, or when you're having these what you call drinking parties or whatever, and then everybody like to put a theme, or we want to have some theme, and then everybody dress up something famous, yeah. How to say, sometimes people like to dress like a Houdini, or sometimes people like to dress as Elvis Presley and so forth, yeah, Michael Jackson and all that, yeah, just to like pretend, yeah. So like that, nowadays when people dress up like this, say like this, it's like pretending. It's like we say in Tibetan, kolo, tulo means you have taken it wrongly, you have misunderstood it wrongly. Yes, the real meaning is we need to follow this inner meaning, very important. Like for example, when Tilopa, the Mahasiddha Tilopa gave his heart teaching, he gave many teachings to his disciple Naropa, but one thing, that very wonderful thing, is he says, Po Nawe Miching Shembe Ching Shemba Chuche Naropa. That means what binds us to this samsara, what binds us to this cycle of suffering and ignorance and blindness, is not the thoughts that arise, is not the appearance of outside. When we look around, our hearing, our taste, our feeling, our expression of mind and consciousness, and our view with our eyes and smell with our nose, is not the things that appear, these thoughts, these things that the appearance or the view. Is the thing that comes after that. It's like smelling a wonderful flower, and then suddenly we have this, I like to call it the secret hand, and then our mind starts to play with us and thinking, oh, what a wonderful smell, I wonder what flower it is, I'm going to go and snatch it, I don't care wherever it is, I'm going to snatch it and take it. So you see, I'm not saying everyone is like that, please don't misunderstand me. I'm just saying in generally human being mind like that. So then we let our greed mind, ego mind, as I said, the secret hand, to go and grasp and take. You see, that's, and Telopa said, Naropa, that is the thing that binds us to the samsara. So cut that. First recognize that, admit that, and seize that moment, cut that. Then you will be ultimately free, completely free. So that's why, you see, when we follow a great teacher, a great guru, a great master, the meaning is we are not trying to, when we say I'm following the footsteps of the guru, doesn't mean that we need to act like the guru and we need to behave like the guru. So it's like, oh my God, my guru is drinking Tibetan butter tea. Tomorrow I'm going to drink butter tea. I'm going to eat dry yak meat. Or my guru sometimes when he have some saliva stuck in his throat, he in front of people he do I'm going to do that too. So then it's like making a big fool out of ourselves, if you understand what I mean. So the real meaning is like, nowadays I've seen many people trying to impersonate. The word is in English, impersonation of your guru. Sometimes when people say, oh Rinpoche, I am following Guru Rinpoche, and then they try to wear like Guru Rinpoche dress, Guru Rinpoche hat, buy those cheap brocade made ready-made Guru Rinpoche hat in Nepal, in Bauda, put that on their head and then act like, oh, I am Guru Rinpoche, I am Guru Rinpoche. Well, this is not Guru Rinpoche definition. And sometimes nowadays many people thinking they are Dakini. Some ladies, they are in the west or east or wherever, they think because they have some special ability special, something special, like a mental capacity or something. I do not know, of course. And then they immediately like think, oh, I am Dakini, I am Kandroma, I am the sky dancer, I am so special, I am so special, I am like Ishi Soja Mandarawa, whatever. This is special. So this is impersonation. This is ego greed. Is impersonation. It's nothing more than impersonation. We need to follow the teacher as an example. You see, it's so funny sometimes. When we read the life stories, like for example, I just give a simple example, yeah. Let's say, let's say like in historical facts, yeah, most people around the world would say something like, one example I give, Mr. Nikola Tesla. He was the invention of the whole cosmic view of light and electricity and all of that, isn't it? So if I make a mistake, I'm sorry. I'm not so fully educated in that way. I'm just giving whatever I read in the books and everything, yeah, and watch the documentary. But you see, anyone will say, oh, I want to be like Nikola Tesla, I want to be the founder of this and the discoverer of this or whatever. But really, then why don't you live like Nikola Tesla? Why don't you go through the things he had to go through? Why don't you experience the things he had to experience? No, I don't want that. I just want the achievement and the fame. Then it doesn't work, you see. It's not the same thing. Some people may feel like Aristotle and Pluto, and those are great poet and great like really learned beings, and they are like they are philosophers or whatever. But if you want to be like them, then just look at their livelihood. They try to do what they did, yeah. So it's so funny nowadays, like some people I've seen, when they see athletes, yeah, some people who are not very healthy and like that, it's like, I can give an example of myself. When I was very, very fat, I gained so much weight because I didn't do much exercise and didn't follow through much proper dietary and all of that, eating all the wrong things like that. And then when I see, like, sometimes when I'm walking around either in Nepal or in the West or wherever, and I really see people, either it's a man or a woman, when they are very athletic, they are swimming, they are playing the sports, and then they do the exercising, the gym, and then they're not, I mean, I don't know if they're doing it for just to aesthetics or they're doing it for health, but whatever it is, they're healthy. And then when I see that, I feel a little bit feeling of, oh gosh, I wish I can do that too, that would be so nice. But it's not going to work if I don't put on the sports shoes and wear the sportswear and then start doing something, start changing. I can't just say like, oh, I wish I have a healthy life, a healthy body, and then don't do anything. So you see, that's what happens with many people nowadays. People like to achieve something and be like someone else, yet they do not want to go through the whole hardship and whole situation, long journey. So as I said, you need to go through the whole long journey. That's the whole process of the whole point. And when we follow our guru, we are not trying to imitate the guru, we're not trying to be the equal as a guru, we are not trying to impersonate the guru. We are basically just trying to learn the advice and instruction and learn everything from the guru, and try to at least follow the guru, follow his example, follow what he left for us, follow what he gave for us, remind ourselves. Basically, that's the real point, that's the beauty, that's the main thing. And I know it's not going to be an easy journey, but that's the worthy trying. This is something I really wanted to share today. Really something I feel very precious, And also, one thing I want to say also, I feel like it's very needed to say, is that you see we are really experiencing such a tremendous turmoil in the world. Like everything that has been mentioned in the Guru Rinpoche's prophecy about the degenerate times, the kalpas, yeah, the negative kalpas of the war, famine, pandemics, and diseases, and natural disasters. Everything, as we all can now say, is really playing out, yeah, in front of our own eyes. Every minute, every second, something is happening, unfortunately, and so sadly, actually, very sadly. But this is a time I personally feel that we must pursue our endeavor. Endeavor of what? Endeavor of the practice as much as we can. There is no time like now. There is no tomorrow. If we are going to tell ourselves, oh, not today, I'm very tired, I'm going to practice tomorrow, there's never going to be a tomorrow, and then that's never going to work, that's never going to happen. So please make it now, make it now, make it now, or else there's never going to be a tomorrow. And that is my humble requesting for everyone, Dhamma sisters and brothers. And one thing I really want to say is that never allow ego, greed, pride, pretentious, fakery, two-face, cunningness, pretentious, self-agenda, and self-absorption, self-cherishment, self-importance, any of these, aggression, what do you call that, jealousy, blindness, any of this, don't let this take over you. Because at the end of the day, everything is in your hands. You have a choice. You have the control. You have a choice. You are the captain of your own boat. So please remember, your guru, your best friend, and the Guru Rinpoche, Dakini, Bhaja Yogini, Buddha cannot do anything for you at the end of the day if you don't do it yourself. This is very important. We must remember this. And like how the English say, doctors make the worst patient. Just like that. Don't be like that, please, okay? Don't be a worst patient. Yeah, sometimes we can say Dharma people, Buddhist people make the worst humans in the world. And it's kind of true, I've seen in my own life, personal experiences, that some of the worst people I've seen are in the Buddhist world, Dharma world. And I'm not saying this like in a sense where hatred and anger and trying to point finger. I'm just trying to state the fact. I'm also personally myself, I never think of myself that I'm great, that I'm realized, I'm I'm so big, I'm so wonderful, special, whatever. I never ever think like that of myself, ever, even one single minute of time. This was just a funny thing I wanted to share today. I just thinking maybe I want to share. There was one time my brother Pancho Rinpoche, he had told me, oh, you shouldn't say things about your predecessor. It's not nice, people will not like it. And then I asked my brother, what do you mean by that? He said, oh, recently you had given one teaching, and it's already, the full length teaching is already online, and then you were giving an example of yourself and your predecessor, like the modern phone and the old phone and the new phone and something like that. So my brother was saying, you shouldn't say like that and this and that. To be really honest with you, what I meant by that, when I made the comparison between myself and my predecessor as the old phone and the new phone, is I really never meant it in a way of disrespecting, disregarding, or trashing my predecessor or throwing him under the bus. But you see, my point was very innocently clear, is that my predecessor, what he has done, what he lived for, what he stood for,
what his greatest achievement, we can all witness it. He was an incredible human being himself, and all his activities and achievement in the Buddhist world, or in the Dharma sense, it's a major achievement what he has contributed, what he has offered, what he has dedicated, to all of us. Nevertheless, it's like so obvious. We can all be so deeply appreciative and rejoice of that. But what I only meant is that my predecessor was born in a different era, different world, different environment, different circumstances and situation compared to myself. I am not saying that I am anything brilliant. I'm really not brilliant. I am a person, I speak from my heart. I don't speak from my ego or greed or boasting or whatever. I only speak it from just my truthfulness and all truthfulness and honesty. And I really feel of myself. I never think of myself as anything special. What I know is what I know. What I don't know is what I don't know. Many Tibetan Lama, Tibetan people, Tibetan Lama, Tibetan Rinpoche, Tibetan Dharma practitioners, Tibetan Khenpos and monks, lamas, we have this very great acting career. And this style, we have a Tibetan word for it. It's called Kengpa Chongwa. Actually, Kengpa Chongwa means a wonderful thing. Kengpa Chongwa means, the real definition of Kengpa Chongwa means being genuinely humble. Humbling yourself. Humble yourself. That's the true definition. But nowadays, sometimes I've seen it with my own eyes and hear it with my own ears. Lamas or Rinpoches or Khenpos or Tulkus or monks or whatever, they when they're about to give a teaching or empowerment, they always say something like, today I'm giving this empowerment because, or in teaching or whatever it is, and then I've been giving this today this because I was being requested by all of you, though I have no knowledge of this, I'm not capable of giving any of that. I am merely just a messenger. Thanks to my great masters, what they taught me, I'm just passing down that. To be really honest, I sometimes tease the lamas and Rinpoches and Khenpos directly. I say, you say all of that very nicely, like acting career, Hollywood and Bollywood acting career. But if somebody came to you and said, you are stupid, you are pathetic, you are horrible, you are horrendous, you are fakery, you are blah 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 blah, something like that, I'm sure in your mind you are boiling like a lava, like the volcano, like the Pompeii volcano, about to erupt and burst. You will be in front of that person like a very good Tibetan boy. You will be, yes, thank you very much, so sorry, have a wonderful day. And then when you go back to your personal room and you lock the room and nobody there, you are going to be like, this person today who come to me say like this to me, how dare they do this to me? I will make sure they pay. I will do something. They will experience my wrath. How dare they? And I'm sure they will put like extra good quality alcohols and whiskeys and brandies and cognacs and gold leaves in the Mahakala offering, saying, Mahakala, you go. Make that person suffer, make that person have bad dream, please, maybe give that person more extra diarrhea. You see, it's funny. Genuine quality shines without promoting, shines without rubbing on your face. That's true genuine quality. For me, I just want to share like one experience in my life. I had the great fortune. My root guru, Jebje Trungsi Rinpoche, I had a great chance to, receive so many teachings and advices with Rinpoche. And even to this day, I never forget whatever Rinpoche have given me. For me, I always say to myself, I am nobody, I am really nothing, but I'm so grateful and lucky that I have met such a wonderful master, root master like Jebi Trushi Rinpoche, and I'm forever grateful. And I want to do my best to follow his example, to follow everything Rinpoche gave teaching and advices. Same thing like that, I really had the great fortune to meet some of the really great older generation masters who were during the same time, same generations of my predecessor, Jabti Mushinsa Rinpoche, such as Jabji Tengar Rinpoche, amazing great teacher, Jabji Trumpeno Rinpoche, Jabji Dungse Trinle Nobu Rinpoche, also how to say, Jabji Talong Tseru Rinpoche, Jabji Domayang Thang Rinpoche, Jabji Ala Zenka Rinpoche, you know, and so forth. Great masters, amazing, humble, and, you know, great quality masters. And this is the kind of thing I really cherish and treasure. And oh yes, and Jizuma, such a Trijen Rinpoche, late such a Trijen Rinpoche from Seattle, Dakti from Punso Potang. Rinpoche, amazing. Rinpoche was truly amazing. I had the great fortune to meet Rinpoche firstly in Bhutan and then secondly in Bir during Dzongsa Chinsa Rinpoche Dangwan Zui embalmment. For me, just seeing the sight of such a Dakti Rinpoche, late Dakti Rinpoche, Punso Potang, for me, I felt like I was just seeing luminosity because Rinpoche was Jabje, such a Dakti Rinpoche, late Dakti Rinpoche was incredible, really realized being. And I also have great respect to the Punso Potang family and the present Dagyum Chemo, who is presiding in, of course, in Seattle, and then such a Tinzin, right now such a Tinzin's sister, Jizuma, who is living in Canada, in Vancouver. I had the great fortune to meet her. Through the kindness of Dzongsa Chinsa Rinpoche, had asked Jizuma to give such a lineage of the Naru Kachuma, the Vajrayogini practice. I had the great fortune to meet her and receive that from her. And for me, true Dakini, you know, real Dakini, outside humble, very honest, down to earth, kind, patient, loving, always smiling, always shining like a light, you know, but so much deep abundance of wisdom and enlightened mind inside of her. I must say, incredible. And also the late Khandro or Jayanchin's Chuchiloto, Khandro Tsing children, incredible lady, I must say. Really realized being, you know. For me, so much admiration and respect. And same thing like that, I have also much respect, you know, to Sema Saraswati, the daughter of Chara Rinpoche. I had great fortune to meet her so many times, and Semala always so kind, so humble, so wonderful. I also want to say I have great respect and admiration to Mindroling Khandro Rinpoche, elder daughter of Mindroling Tichen Rinpoche. I feel she is so wonderful. Whenever I see the face of Mindroling Khandro Rinpoche's face, it's so wonderful. It's like this, you know, exact copy print of her late father, Miling Tichen Rinpoche, Jabji Miling Tichen Rinpoche. Amazing teacher, so enlightened, very, you know, spontaneous, very how to say, very yogic, true yogic, you know, like true yogic being, I must say. I had such a great fortune to meet Rinpoche also. And I still remember when in Thoroman time of me, when Miling Trijin Rinpoche, late Miling Trijin Rinpoche had come very kindly. And when Miling Trijin Rinpoche had come closer to me, Rinpoche, he hit his head on my head very hardly. And I was very kind of like amazed and puzzled, and I was looking at him with my big eyes. I still remember that very much. Such a wonderful memory, you know. Such a wonderful moments, and I'm so happy I can remember all of this in my memory, you know. And I can still remember meeting Nyushu Khen Rinpoche, wonderful teacher, great teacher also, and Jobje Trijin Rinpoche. Sajapa lineage, Jobje Trijin Rinpoche also. I'm so fortunate and so wonderful. I met Rinpoche also, and I feel so lucky and happy to meet Gaji Khamdru Rinpoche also. Gaji Khamdru Rinpoche passed away. Rinpoche was also very closely connected to previous Shenze Rinpoche. Of course, I want to make a clear difference. Khamdru Rinpoche from Jabji Khamdru Rinpoche from the Khambaga Trashijong, that's a different. Rinpoche predecessor, extremely close to Tingpo Shense Rinpoche. Tingpo Shense Rinpoche gave the Dangwanzo empowerment and many other empowerments in Trashijong Khambaga in Beer, long time ago. And Jabje Khamdru Rinpoche's Yangsi Rinpoche, he had come to Shichen Monastery before in the early days. It is in the Brilliant Moon footage. And Jabje Tingpo Rinpoche at that time in the library, Manjushri Hall in the library, on the top floor of the Shichen Monastery temple, Tingpo Rinpoche is sitting on his bed, and Jabje Khamdru Rinpoche Yangsi is sitting beside Tingpo Rinpoche. And I believe at that time in the room there was my late grandfather, Tuku Ojen Rinpoche, my late father, Tsigi Chonlo Rinpoche, and Shugi Nyema Rinpoche, Tsonyi Rinpoche, and also Zongsa Chinsa Rinpoche, and Sheje Ramja Rinpoche, Namkin Nyingbo, Tsogni Rinpoche, and I believe Tapu Tuku, and I believe maybe at that time a few other lamas also. I think Chinzi Yishe Rinpoche and Ujin Tobja Rinpoche, maybe Nidin Chonli Rinpoche also, Jimmy Chenze Rinpoche, Trukupema Wanja Rinpoche, and Matthew. I believe all the lamas Rinpoche and Heart Sons, I believe they were there at that time. So yeah, that's Khamdru Rinpoche. But the one I'm mentioning is Gaji Khamdru. Gaji Khamdru Rinpoche was a late teacher. He was from the older generation, and Rinpoche mostly lived in Dharamsala. He was also very close connected to Jabje Tingpo Rinpoche, and I had the great fortune to meet Rinpoche, and so amazing, so humble, extremely genuine, you know. And for me, what I feel is so incredible is a true Dhamma practitioner. When you meet them, you know, when you look into their eyes, and when you just spend some time with them, even a few minutes, you can feel it, you know. There's something in them that's so different, that differentiates between normal people and them, you know. Like, it's not that they're trying to be different, they're not trying to stand out, they're not trying to be unique, but it's just because they have such a wonderful, genuine quality, because they are so abundance of enlightened quality, enlightened mind, you know. And that's the incredible part. As I said, gold, you know, like pure gold, or let's say like tungsten, tungsten and titanium, these very high quality metals. You don't need to, like, you know, you don't need to say this is so this is a very good quality, and, you know, like rub it on people's face and promote it. But it itself, people can tell, that it speaks volume itself. But just the appearance, outer appearance, just the quality, the weight, the strength, the density, it itself speaks volume. That's the amazing quality I find, you know. Like, for example, I had the great fortune, and I'm not, please don't misunderstand me, okay. I had the great fortune many couple of years, I had great fortune to meet two wonderful, enlightened, great masters, Babajis, as we say in our Nepali language, from the tradition of the Aghori tradition. And the originally Aghori tradition in the Nath we call them, yeah, the Nath tradition. Nath is Nath. Nath tradition is actually originated from the 84 Mahasiddhas of India, such as Mahasiddha Tilopa, Mahasiddha Nagarjuna, Mahasiddha Gandhapada, Mahasiddha Saraha, Mahasiddha Virupa, Mahasiddha Kukurepa, Mahasiddha Goraknath, and so forth, And then that practice lineage, of course, obviously, is a Buddhist lineage, is Tantric Buddhist Tantrayana, and then it is based with so much of the deities, such as, like, for example, many deities that are connected to us, like Nairatma and how to say, many these practices in the Buddhists we have is also connected in the Nath practice and in the tradition of these very ancient ascetic yogic practice. So I had the great fortune to meet two great teachers. They are already in their older age, both of them presiding in Nepal, and I had the great fortune to meet. One, of course, passed away. He is already in Maha Samadhi already, and one is still alive. And what I want to say is, I just feel extremely lucky. I feel so lucky because, as I said, I'm really nobody. I'm just a person trying my best to be, as best I can, a genuine human being, and the best I can as a serious, dedicated Dharma practitioner. And I'm so grateful to meet these two Babajis, these great masters from the Aghori tradition, because the amazing thing about them is so humble, so kind, so genuine, so willing to give time, to give advice, teaching, attention, help, not just to me but to anyone who came to visit them, regardless of whatever, anyone, anytime. This is incredible, I feel. Not just that, but whoever come, they can sit around, they can relax, and giving them, like, maybe if they're cooking, give some food, or give some dal, give some roti, give some vegetable. If they're cooking some meat, give them some meat. If they have some tea, give them some tea or some water, like constantly like this. And I thought to myself, and they are so minimalistic, they have nothing. They're living in a small little room, very dirty, dusty. They have their small shrine, nothing else. Very dirty clothes, nothing amazing, nothing expensive. No LV, Louis Vuitton, and Hermes, and Chanel, and Gucci, and expensive Italian handmade, French handmade, American handmade, Champs-Élysées, and what do you call the New York brand, Japanese brand, expensive things. No gold chain, no Z-stones on the neck, no Rolex and Patek Philippe and Hublot watches, no Tiffany Co. and Cartier diamond ruby rings, nothing. No leather boots and shoes, no expensive sunglasses and cameras and cars and limousines and whatever, nothing. I just, to myself, I felt embarrassed myself, because I thought to myself, who the hell am I? I'm so selfish and attached to my comfortable life and luxury life. Yet look at these teachers. Yes, they may not be Tibetan or whatever. Yes, we may speak different languages. We may have different sadhanas. Our sadhanas may have different words and languages. But we are all Buddhists. They are Buddhists. I am Buddhist. They follow the great ancient lineage of the 84 Mahasiddhas. We also do the same thing. So important for the Khyentse lineage also. And to my amazement, I thought to myself, look at them, this amazing, great yogi Baba, true yogi Babajis, they're amazing, humble, no attached. Every day, for them, every second is a bliss, nature of bliss. Every minute is a notion of ecstasy. Nowadays, if I say bliss and ecstasy, what usually people will understand, they think, oh, ecstasy and bliss means I'm going to take a huge abundance of marijuana and hashish and meth and ketamine and what not, crazy LSD drug, and then go bunkers and crazy and spring, I think in America is called spring break party, yeah, spring break party and clubbing and the dancing and the all of that, and then many sexual activity and all that. No, that's not what I mean. True definition of ecstasy and bliss is you experiencing that within yourself, is this luminosity, is this lightful nature, nothing to do with mundane point, everything to do with your mind nature, just your mind. Everything, you have everything what you need inside. How you recognize that, how to utilize that is totally up to you. The tools will be given to you by your guru and by the Dharma practices, by the sadhana, and by your own dedication. The rest is totally up to your hands. So this is a very crucial point. I really thinking, want to share. Very important, So, and many people have this misunderstanding, misinterpretation when they think of like Babajis, like ascetic yogis and Babajis and these great agoris. They think, oh my God, these people, they're just eating meat and naked and then scary and terrifying and drinking alcohol from human skulls and drinking all day, drunk all day, and smoking marijuana every day and completely like that. No. This definitely not. I witness with my own eyes and with my own observation. They are completely every day practicing, teaching, advising. If people come and just want to chit chat, they will engage with you in any kind of chit chatting, humbly and purely. But if you come to them again and again and again and requesting them properly and showing them true interest and request them for teaching, they will take their time to check and analyze you and your intentions, your dedication, your determination, your seriousness, your commitment, your consistency. And when they can see that you are serious, that you really meant it, they will take their time, slowly, step by step, teach, instruct you and give you advice. It's incredibly amazing, I feel. They are practicing themselves. They are always connected to practice, always connected to spirituality, always connected to the embodiment, the definition and the embodiment of inner, like wisdom, impermanence, innate nature, emptiness, bodhicitta, detachment, cutting away all clingingness, graspingness, no ego, no greed, no self-importance. That's the definition of a Dhamma practice. That's the whole view, conduct and practice of the Buddha Dharma and Vajrayana. That's the whole basis. That's the ultimate point, and that's the first point. That's the foundation. I think it's truly incredible, and I'm so lucky and fortunate. So nonetheless, I do not wish to take much of any more time. Excuse me. I feel great. Thank you everyone for giving your time. Thank you so much from the depth of my heart, and I am deeply sorry, and forgive me if I say anything wrong or anything mistaken. then please forgive me, and I'm deeply sorry. I wish everyone have a wonderful time. Good morning, good evening, good night, and sorry, good afternoon and good night. You know where I got that from? Is this movie I really like. It's called, I think the actor is Jim Carrey. It's called Truman. I really like that movie because it does indicate our life in the samsara world. So yes, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and good night, everyone, and goodbye.